Whoa, great news for those suffering from hemophilia. Well, at least those who are super rich. According to CNN, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved a new drug called Hemgenix to treat hemophilia, which is an inherited bleeding disorder in which the blood doesn't clot properly. Hemgenix is a new gene therapy to treat adults with hemophilia B. Typical treatment requires routine intravenous infusions, but Hemgenix is meant to be a one-time IV infusion. Of course, here's the catch. The manufacturer, CSL Behring, has set a price of $3.5 million per treatment, making it the most expensive drug in the world. In a recent cost-effectiveness analysis of the drug, weighing health benefits against offset costs, the Institute for Clinical and Economic Review, aka ICER, suggested a fairer, lower price for the drug. Oh, that's good. What a relief. Oh, and what's their suggested fair price? Between $2.93 and $2.96 million. Let me quote Bruce Almighty when I say, "Back to you, f***ers."
This might have worked 50 years ago, but now, not so much. CBC News reports that a man looking to get his marriage annulled brought an imposter to court pretending to be his ex-wife. Warren Zant married Gina Zant in the Cook Islands back in November of 1999. They split nearly 2 decades later, filing a separation agreement in which they agreed Gina would receive survivor benefits under Warren's pension plan. Warren then applied for a court order annulling the marriage and removing Gina from being a beneficiary under the plan. A document bearing the signature Gina E. Zant was also filed consenting to the order. The couple then appeared before a judge in a remote session, and the annulment was granted. That is, until a copy of the court order was sent to the administrator of the pension plan, who then called the real Gina Zant. And of course, she was unaware of any court proceedings. The truth then came to light, plus other documents supplied by Warren were deemed to be fraudulent as well. And so the annulment was overruled. He might have had a good idea in theory, but not so much in execution.
Here's one you don't hear every day. The AFP reports that a small Buddhist temple in Thailand was left empty without any monks after they were all dismissed for testing positive for meth. 4 monks, including the abbot, all failed the drug tests and were subsequently sent to a health clinic to undergo drug rehabilitation. The raid comes amid a national campaign to tackle drug trafficking. Officials did not say what had brought the temple to the attention of the police. The AFP was told that because the temple is now empty of monks, nearby villagers are concerned they can't do any merit-making, which is an important Buddhist practice where worshippers gain a protective force through good deeds, in this case by giving food to monks. But good news, the local monastic chief has promised to assign some new monks to the temple in a bid to address the concerns of worshippers. So I guess this means that a worshipper thought that merit-making included giving the monks meth?
Burglary 101. If you steal something, probably a good idea not to try to sell it on the internet. The Noonan Times-Herald reports that an accused toy thief was caught after listing stolen items for sale on eBay. 40-year-old Catherine Lynn Humphrey is facing multiple charges related to 2 burglaries at a residence in Sharpsburg, Georgia. Items stolen included toys and firearms, and the victim saw some of the toys listed for sale on eBay and notified police. Investigators got a search warrant for the address selling the toys and set up a meeting with the seller and an undercover officer. They confirmed that many of the stolen items were on scene at the residence, after which investigators executed a search warrant. Most of the stolen items were recovered and returned to the victims. As for Miss Humphrey, she was charged with 2 counts of first-degree burglary. Well, as Albert Einstein once said, 2 things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity.
I feel like this guy should win some sort of an award. The Tullahoma News reports that a thief unwittingly filmed himself stealing a surveillance camera from the backyard of a residence. Police were contacted by the victim, who had been alerted to movement at the camera over his cell phone. While watching the video from the cell phone, he realized someone had stolen the camera, but were apparently unaware that it was still rolling. The victim was able to pull up a live feed of the camera, and it showed a living room. The alleged thief, 35-year-old Jonathan James Frazier, even called his girlfriend by name on the video. Police noted they were familiar with the couple and knew where they lived. So they went to the residence and found the camera, which was still putting out a live feed. Frazier was found, and he reportedly confessed to stealing the camera when confronted by police. He is charged with larceny. Good for him.
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. I mean, hey, my cat's gotta eat.